he doesn't like the phone. So when I say something is not right, I know he might have been out of the country. Hence, I ended up saying, if you are out, when are you back? I don't know whether I'm assisting.
No, it's fine. Go to page 91. He then says, I'm going to Singapore tomorrow, then I'll be back on Saturday, guaranteed. So then on page 92, on the 24th of April, you say to him, Aish, I'm broke, Tumza, financially embarrassed. Then you send messages, he's not responding to you. So on the 28th, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times you tried to get hold of him. You were looking for money from him.
Yes.
And then on the 29th, you even say, please call or answer.
Yes, Commissioners.
Chief, how is it okay, or why should we say or consider it okay and harmless that you are asking for and are receiving money from a person who you say is not your friend, and in other communication, we see that he's involved in arranging drug deliveries and drugs coming from, not your operation, but in other correspondence. We see that he's involved with getting drugs off a ship, being transported, having to be delivered somewhere to somebody who is not law enforcement. How should we look at a law enforcement officer like yourself being funded by a person like that? How is that not problematic?
Maybe I've put it wrong in the beginning, that our relationship was based on information. He tended to be, even now, we communicate, because now he tend to be my younger brother, I can say. Maybe I've put it wrong in the beginning.
Let me ask you this. You made witness statements to IPID, you made witness statements to the police after the July incident in Eroton. And in all those statements, you described Mr. Nku as an informant, as a source. Were you lying under oath? Because in all those affidavits, you didn't describe him as a friend, you didn't describe it as somebody who often gave you money when you were desperate for cash. So were you lying in all those affidavits when you said, he's just a source, he's just an informant?
I was not lying, Commissioners. Maybe it's because we were talking about the Eroton matter. That's why I said, I mean, let's say, Commissioners, I know a person that I'm busy with our own things. But on this issue of 2021, I'm being asked, who is this person? How are you related to this person? On this one, the role he played is he gave me information. I was not lying under oath.
But do you accept that how IPID and other institutions would have dealt with the information would have been different if you said, this is a friend of mine who often gives me money. I have side hustles with him. He often gives me money to do renovations at my house. That's the person I got information from.
But for obvious reasons, Commissioners, if you say that as a law enforcement official, you are saying I'm being funded
But that is a
It's-
fact. That is a fact. He was funding you.
But commissioners, I'll be answering something that I'm not asked.
No, but your conduct is far more serious than that, because as a result of your complaint to IPID, police officers were investigated and they were charged. They were not dismissed, but some of them could have been dismissed. And it led to divisions within SAPs, where crime intelligence and ordinary SAPs and hawks, what do we call them, DPCI now, were fighting. And the feedback from the NPA was that these are misunderstandings and fights between law enforcement. That's how they characterized all of this. And it starts with you giving information that is clearly false to IPID, because you were the main complainant in the IPID complaint. And IPID records what you gave as follows: I received information from a source. And that is different from saying, I received information from a friend of mine who often gives me money, and that I have a side hustle that I'm running with. Not that it's unlawful, because we don't know what that side hustle was. But that is material information that you withheld from IPID, from the police.
So I would have caused a division within SAPs and in crime intelligence.
That's what the
Is that-
complaint led to.
No, I don't agree, commissioners. The complaint, I was very angry about what happened on 2021. I still am, because that was a genuine operation.
And
according to me.
we will get into whether the operation was genuine or not. For present purposes, all I was confining myself to was you were not truthful in all those affidavits when you described Mr. Nku as a source. Because he was more than a source to you.
Well, he is more than a brother even now.
Yes. So you were not truthful in those affidavits in your description of your relationship with him.
For what? For the information that was needed for 2021. I am truthful.
No, you were not truthful in not disclosing the nature of what you say now in this last engagement was the true nature of your relationship. You were not truthful about it. Even when you started with us, you were not truthful. And you have said why. You say, I could not disclose it then. I couldn't say it then because then what would it look like that a police officer is being funded by somebody? You're correct. That's how it looks. And it's your reason for not being truthful about the nature of your relationship. And I agree with Commissioner Kumalo that had you disclosed the true nature of your relationship with the person that you say gave you the information, it would create a different way of looking and interrogating what was going on there in that operation. And you withheld that material information.
Commissioners, what we were doing, or what I'm doing with Nku, in him, maybe I would be saying, if it is taken as a funding, it's unofficial. But on my official capacity and basis, I don't think I was lying. But other things, it's not only Nku that I know.
No, we know, we don't even need to get there. We know, or we can assume, that it's not just him that you know. We are talking about your relationship with Nku. Let's not distract from that. You are funded. You've told us he funds your renovations. Here you say, I'm broke. Earlier we read something and you agreed it indicates you were receiving money from him to distribute to other people. So your relationship with him is not just an informer. You actually are working together. There's things that you're doing together and you call them a side hustle. So the truth of your relationship with Mr. Nku, you didn't disclose it in 2021. Before us here, it comes out, it changes. You started off, he's an informal, arm's length relationship, you've even an acquaintance. Eventually you have to accept that on the documents before us, it does show that you are not being truthful about the nature of that relationship, and you concede that, well, we are friends. You end up saying that. And the point that is being made to you is, had you disclosed the nature, the true nature of your relationship with Mr. Nku, it may well have led to different lines of inquiry. And I want to suggest that you were aware of that. That's why you were not frank about the nature of the relationship. It's because you knew that it potentially opens lines of inquiry about what that operation was all about. And you were avoiding that line of inquiry. And in that way, you were being dishonest about the relationship with Nku. As you were, and I want to put it to you, as you have been with us. You may comment if you want to, Chief. Otherwise, Ms. Sigals, I'm back with you.
Thank you,
Well,
Commissioner.
Commissioners, I know, and I don't want to seem to be diverting. I know how honest I am. Together with the people that works with me, they know how honest and how I operate. On this one, I wouldn't say I have seen it, that it will come as I'm lying under oath on this one. I didn't see it, that it can be interpreted that way. And my humble apologies again that I gave a wrong picture about my relationship with Nku, because truth be told, something of 2019, I forgot about it. I never thought it will be dark until this deep. So humbly, I would agree, I didn't see it will be interpreted that way.
Thank you. Ms. Sigals?
Thank you, Commissioner. Chief, do you recall how much you received from Mr. Nku into your the business bank account?
Honestly, I don't recall.
Okay. And you said that your relationship with Mr. Nku started in 2019.
Yes, Commissioners.
Can I just take you back to page 78 of the bundle? So your relationship starts in 2019, and by March, you already feel comfortable enough to ask him for money and send him your business details. Do you see that where you sent the business F&B details?
Yes, Commissioners.
Okay. So that's in March, end of March. And you say you don't recall it. It was 20,000 Rand. Does that figure sound right? That it was 20,000 Rand?
If it was 20,000 Rand, I recall that I was busy at home. He was assisting.
Okay. So he gave you 20,000 rand in March, and your relationship started earlier that year, at least 3 or maximum 3 months earlier.
I know it's 2019,
Yes.
but when exactly, I can't say. The beginning of the year or...
Yeah, I'm giving you the benefit that it started in January of 2019 to make it a bit longer. It could have been later, but my point is by March 2019, you feel comfortable enough to give this person your business details. He's comfortable enough in the relationship to give you 20,000 rand. And this is somebody that you just met that year. That's what you're saying.
Yes, Commissioners.
And you did nothing for him to get that 20,000 rand.
No, nothing.
Okay. And then there was another amount in May of 2019. Are you aware of that? Do you recall that?
In May.
Did you say you recall it?
No.
Okay. I'll get to it. It was May 2019, but I'll get to that one. And that was for 10,000 rand. Can we go to page 92 again, back to page 92? I had already dealt with that where you had said to him that you're broke, you're financially embarrassed, and then there's a series of calls or attempts for you to get hold of him. And on page 93, on the 29th of April, at 8:02 a.m., he says to you, let's meet 7 p.m. I'm in a meeting with the SG. Do you know which SG he was referring to here?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And you say, where are we, I'm assuming you mean where are we going to meet? He says anywhere in the south, and that's early in the morning. You give a thumbs up and you say call after meeting then, and you don't get a response from him at 6 o'clock in the evening when you are at home. You say, I'm home waiting, and it doesn't seem like, I don't know if you called him, did you meet up with him, do you recall?
No, I don't recall, Commissioners.
Okay, you then send a message to him on the 2nd of May saying to me, I guess it is clear we leave these things. Do you recall what things you were going to leave now with him?
I don't recall, Commissioners.
Go to the next page because it seems to involve other people as well. You say you're not communicating and my people awaits response from me that I don't know. Who are your people?
I hate to keep on saying I don't recall, I don't know, but honestly, it can ring the bell. I don't know.
Chief Mashaba,
Chair.
it does not look like this related to several matters or several issues. This must have been one theme. That's the distinct impression I'm getting. For you to say that you've forgotten every and anything about this, let me tell you that to me, it looks like you are feigning this forgetfulness. Your comment?
It will look like, Commissioners, hence I'm saying, in 2019, honestly, I don't remember what we were busy with. All I know or can recall is that I was busy fixing at home. And other than that, I know there was no other businesses or side dealings with Nku.
Are you suggesting by saying that that everything relating to these texts was about you renovating? Is that what you are suggesting?
That is the only thing that I remember I was busy with in 2019.
But it could not have related to renovating. What was this about? Your people. You've already been asked that before. And that was not about money. It was from me that I don't know. If you were talking about money, you would have said, so that I should know by when I may pay them. So this was not about money. You were involved in something else.
I'm even afraid to say I don't know again.
You
Because
do know.
genuinely-
You do know. That is why I'm saying you are feigning this forgetfulness. You do know.
Honestly, commissioners, if I knew, I was not going to deny. I can promise you, I was not going to deny. I don't remember who or what was this all about.
Yes. Yes.
Can I just check one thing? Chief, did you travel overseas in 2019?
I've never traveled overseas.
All right, thank you.
Okay, may I continue? Okay, we're still on page 94. You then say to him, "You real not playing open and tiding me. Why don't you say what's happening, Tumza?" And then you say, "Where did I go wrong?" So clearly there must have been something that was going on between the two of you, where you feel that his lack of communication is an indication that you were doing something wrong or you went wrong or didn't bring your end of the bargain. Do you not recall?
I don't recall.
Okay. Can we go to page 95? You say to him on the 5th of May, "You must be happy that the rally is over." Surely you remember which rally?
On
The 5th of May, 2019. You say to him, "You must be happy the rally is over," and your next message, "Distraction is now over." Do you see that?
the rally,
Yes. So he must have communicated to you that he was being distracted by a rally.
I know Tumelo is an ANC person. Obviously, if he's talking the rally, maybe he's talking ANC issues.
Yeah, elections, 2019, May 2019.
I just know that the rally is an ANC person.
Okay.
No, it's you. You are saying if he is talking rally, then he must be talking about ANC, the ANC. It's you saying this, not him. You are saying you must be happy the rally is over. So it's you talking about that. So you've basically not responded to the question by Ms. Seegers. Perhaps please repeat your question, yes.
You the one that says to him, "You must be happy the rally is over." So he told you he was at the rally, so you know what rally he's referring to.
2019.
Yes, May 2019.
You even say in the very next chat, the distraction is now over. So obviously you were aware of what rally he was talking about, or rather what rally you were talking about, and which would have been distracting him.
Like I'm saying, 2019. Like I'm saying, I know if it's something to do with rallies, it's ANC things. So I can't remember 2019 what was happening or what was the rally all about, or which rally was this.
Okay. See, you then send a message on the 6th because he's not responding. Please talk to me. You're stressing me seriously. I don't want, and I think you meant unfinished businesses because you say unfinished later. And then you say, please just tell me what's happening. At least let me know. So he is a significant figure in your life at this point because nobody sends such a distressing message to somebody that's a mere acquaintance. You're either very reliant on him for finances or for something else. So what was going on?
Well, I know business will mean anything that has to do with money or finances.
Yes.
I know for the fact. But then, it's difficult.
Well, you have
it's really-
unfinished business with him because you say, I don't want unfinished business. So you do have business with him. So you're saying to him, please just let me know what's happening. At least let me know. If we're done, then we're done. It's not coming from his side, it's coming from you. You are the one that is reaching out to him all the time. You are the one that's desperate to make contact with him. So why? If you are giving him, so you're giving him nothing in return, but you want to know what you've done wrong. That's what you're telling us. You're saying to us, he kept giving me money and I did nothing for him in return. So why would there be anything wrong from your side? What could you do wrong if there was nothing expected from you?
Like I'm saying, Mr. Nku, what's the problem about him? It's him not answering. But then, to get his attention, I would maybe write something that might maybe make him call me fast. But that does not necessarily mean we were in any business dealing here.
No, it must mean because you're actually saying unfinished business. I don't want to have any unfinished business. So you have business with him.
It's a difficult one.
It's a difficult one because you don't want to tell us what it was, or it's a difficult one, why?
It's a difficult one because I even hate now to say I don't remember. I don't recall.
Where did you understand him to be getting his money from? The very fact that he could have given you 20,000 rand, where did you understand him to be getting his money from?
I just know him as a businessman. He is in business with Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's what I know of. What he's doing in Coca-Cola, I cannot tell.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you,
Gauteng.
Okay, can we go to page 96? He then responds on page 95. You'll see on the 14th of May. He says, afternoon, Abuti. Apologies. You will understand the dynamics of everything when we meet. I couldn't respond nor meet you at the time. I'm done with my tasks. I'm just awaiting clearance. Please tell me you remember what he was referring to here. He's done with his tasks and he's awaiting clearance. Clearance for what?
I don't know, will I be safe to say what was happening in 2019? I will be asked each and every one, sentence by sentence. Honestly, 2019, I don't know what were we busy with. And I want to be honest with the commission. I don't recall.
But
Not
you-
that I'm playing with the commission.
You do remember that you were renovating that time, though?
That's the only thing that I remember.
Okay. Go to page 97. On the 21st of May, you say we must meet Tumza. Why? Why is it a must? You are the one that's reaching out to him. We must meet. Why must you meet with him?
Let me ask to go back, please, and please hold your thought on,
Yes, Chief.
on where you are. Page 96, after asking when do you meet and there's no response, then you say, that's the third chat from you, third chat. You say, Fem iwile na. Has the firm gone under? Is that a correct translation? Firm iwile na.
Yes, Femi Wilena.
That's you asking him. And then you say, Mara, why and why usabu wimfetu? So basically, if the firm has gone under, why aren't you saying anything about that? Am I interpreting this correctly?
You are interpreting it correct, Commissioner.
And I already know you will say you do not know what that was about. Or do you just surprise me and say, at least this one you do recall, and then tell me what it was about?
It frustrates. It really frustrates because I really want to.
What firm were you talking about? And what was its relevance in your chats?
It can be our friendship that I'm talking about here. Because, and I want to say to the Commission, if really something happened in 2019, I was going to quickly, rather than what I've mentioned, I was going to quickly remember.
You see, from it's March, I think the first chats you've been referred to, we are now in May. And I don't think that this is a whole lot of themes that you and Mr. Nku are engaging on. It doesn't matter that it was 2019. You couldn't have forgotten one or two themes that the two of you were engaging about. You couldn't. You are simply not being truthful in this regard. I cannot but make that suggestion to you.
Honestly speaking, Chair.
No, you are
Honestly.
not. You are not being honest, Chief Mashaba. You are not. You are not. You are adopting that stance because you know that this trail of emails brings you so close to Mr. Nku in ways that have nothing to do with what you have been telling us about, but more about your involvement in this drug bust. I take it, Ms. Lee Seagulls, it will still, through these chats, take you to a point where that becomes even clearer. Your involvement with Mr. Nku had nothing to do with him being your informer, and that your involvement on the 9th of July, 2021, had nothing to do with him being your informer. You want to comment? Of course, We are still going to go through these chats. Do you want to comment on what I've just said?
My involvement with him on the 9th had everything to do with the drug bust.
And I started, and I started by saying, surely, if from March to May you appear not to have been engaging on several or numerous themes, but at best for you, maybe 2 at the most, there is no way you would have forgotten what you were engaging on.
But honestly speaking, commissioners, 7 years ago, it's a long time for me to can easily remember what was actually happening.
You see, I would understand you. I'm actually very forgetful. But forgetful as I am, if there was only one thing that I was engaging with a particular person on, that fact, the fact of the engagement, the nature of the engagement, I would remember. What I would not remember perhaps would be blow-by-blow accounts of our interactions. That's totally different. What you are telling us is that you don't even remember the nature of those engagements. Surely you are not being truthful. You are simply not being truthful.
Commissioners, I just don't know how to put it, but I'm saying if these chats will lead us to something that will be proven to me, not that I'm in defense, something that will be proven to me that you've been denying, this is what you've been doing.
You are not
Or
even
this is what
you are not even denying thus far. All you are telling us, response after response, is I have forgotten. I have no recollection.
And I'm being honest, commissioners, I totally forgot. Until you get to exactly reminding me, okay, you've been saying you don't forget, you don't remember. I want to put it to you, this is what you've done in 2019, finally.
Yes, Mr. Galsingwe.
Thank you, Chair. Back to page 97. You say you don't recall why you had to meet with Tumza. At the bottom, on the 21st of May, he says, I've just done with my meeting. I'm going to spend the day in Lutuli. Will be available anytime from 6 p.m. So, Lutuli, what is that in reference to?
Lituli's ANC house.
Okay. And then you say to him, honor it, please. So he must please honor the meeting. On the next page, page 98. Now, I want to skip a few pages and go to page 100. It's on the 22nd of May. There's a photo that he sends to you at 8:37 p.m. with the name Kensani. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then you say, get and send more details. You then also say, Hola, bring more, maybe surname and shift times so we can quickly visit. Do you recall what this was about?
Kensan.
To try and help you jog your memory, it starts at page 98, where you say, just waiting for you, Tumza. At page 98, you say, just waiting for you, Tumza. This is on the 22nd of May. at 4:18 in the afternoon. And then he, at 8:37 that evening, he sends you this picture in response to you saying, waiting for you. He sends you the picture, he gives you a name, you ask for more details. You said, get and send more details. That's at page 100. And then, as Ms. Sigals has read for you, bring more, maybe say name and shift times so we can quickly visit. That's you saying. And then he says, I'm waiting. I'll get by 9:30. You do thumbs up. And then you say, Bo Peter can't wait. And then you have a laughing emoji. He apologizes for the delay and says, my guy is still at the mosque. Sorry, boss, he's working in the morning shift. If they go, it must be around 6 p.m. this evening. And then he gives you Emirates and counter number 50 to 58. He says, that's from my guy. Remember the last thing you did, you asked for details.
Yes, Commissioners.
So he gives you Emirates and a counter number, and then you say, okay, at the bottom of 101. And then you say next Tumza at 102, and then you send a picture of the airport, the check-in counters, which 3 of them appears from the color to be Emirates. And then you write, you say, here now. So you've got that sequence. Remember you started off by saying, so we can go and visit in the morning. Shift times, give me shift times, you said, remember. So we can quickly visit. That's what you said after he sent you the picture. And then he comes back, he does give you time. He says, guy is working in the morning shift. If they got it, it must be around 6 p.m. this evening. So he's given you shift times of Kensani that you asked for. And then he gives you the details. It's Emirates. He gives you counter numbers. And then he sends you a picture. So you must know what this is about. It's not every day you and Miss, even in 2019, that you and Mr. Nku were discussing Emirates flights and counters and people who work shifts that you were going to visit. You have to remember. You must remember what this was about.
On this one, Commissioners, I remember just a little bit on this one.
All right, let's
And
try.
then it goes back to my communication with Mashikhu. On this one, I now remember when you're saying to me, Kensan. On this one, Nku had a problem that somebody I can't remember if it was gold or either gold or platinum. Nku needed help. I remember now when you're talking Kensani. Nku needed help to say, do you know Hausa and these other guys? Because there is that thing, I can't remember is it gold or platinum. They stole it from the airport. I said, I don't know, but I can find out who those guys are. Because I know that name. It's in our circle of friends or something like that. I know, Nku needed assistance that, can you please get me Hausa's number so that I meet with him? I tell him what or can he assist to recover that thing that belongs to somebody that Nku knows. That's when I got to look for Gauza and the other two guys. It's only now that we're talking Kensani that I remember. That is the reason why I met Mashego. I wanted Mashego to assist Nku about maybe recovering whatever that was lost at the airport, because they were working there, or they still working there. I don't know.
Okay, look at the entry on 103 where it speaks about a previous event on the 5th of May. This is what he sends to you. Because you say get a surname, he says on it, and then he says on the 5th of May on the night flight at 22:20 p.m., 150k USD was stolen from a client's bag. Ayanda checked him in the passenger's name, it gives the name, and also 4 million in cash rands was also stolen from 2 bags from another passenger.
Sorry, which one?
103.
103. Yes.
He's referring to an incident that occurred on the 5th of May. He's sending that to you. What do you know about that, about Ayanda being the person that checked in the passenger, 150k USD and 4 million in cash was stolen?
Now I remember. It was the dollars that got lost or stolen at the airport. That's how he requested me to assist and get the 3 guys, because they're working at the airport. This is the assistance he needed from me.
The check-in guys at the
No.
Emirates counter.
No, the details he was giving me here was for me to give to the policemen that are working at the airport. You see, I can't even remember what was it. I'm saying gold or something. I remember it was, yes, money stolen from the airport.
Yes.
Of somebody that Nku knows.
But Kensani is somebody that works at the Emirates check-in counter. Where does Kensani?
I am not so sure, but Kensani is somebody that was maybe assisting Nku. For sure, Kensani is not police.
Okay, if you go to the next page, it says, when you grab him, ask him about Ayanda. They work together on this. He's referring to Kensani. When you grab him, ask him about Ayanda. They work together on this. So the previous message is telling you that Ayanda was the person that checked in a passenger on the 5th of May and money was stolen. And then the other one, he gave you Kensani's details, which led you to the airport, to Emirates counter 50 to 58.
Then it would mean those things were stolen by Kensani.
Okay, so...
That's why, sorry?
No, go ahead, that's why.
That's why he sent me the picture for Mashego and the guys to find out about this Kensani.
No, it's not for Mashego and the other one to find out about Kensani, because you actually do go to the airport. You do. If you look at page, after he's given you Kensani's picture, at page 102, you say at 7:22 on the 23rd, you say here now, and then at in the next 8 seconds, you send him a pin location which places you, yes, this thing is cut up, but it places you at OR Tambo. So it wasn't to give to others. It was, in fact, for you to go and find Kensani. That's why you speak about grab him.
I'm sorry,
Okay, let's do this slowly. Remember at 100, you've got the picture of Kensani and you ask for details. And then at the bottom of that page 100, you say, Hola, bring more, maybe surname and shift times so we can quickly visit. So on this message, you are going to visit once you get the shift times.
It
100, page 100 at the bottom. Bottom of page 100, you say, bring more, maybe surname and shift times so we can quickly visit. That's you saying. And then at page 101, he's the one that gives you Emirates, counter 50 to 58. Can you see where I'm reading towards the bottom?
Yes,
Okay, so he gives you the details. And then, in fact, before that, just above that, he says, sorry, boss, guy is working in the morning shift. If they got, it must be around 5, 6 p.m. this evening. That's Mr. Nku to you at 8:33 in the morning, 8:33:10. And then you respond. Rather, he sends another message immediately after. He says, Emirates, counter 50 to 58. So he's telling you, that's the only way of reading this. He's telling you where to find Kensani, who works the day shift, and they must go and grab him in the evening. And then you say, at the bottom of that 101 page, you say, okay. Next page, you send him the picture of check-in counters.
yes, Commissioner.
You see that. And then you say, that's at 7:22:25. And then at 7:22:30, you say, here now. And at 7:22:38, you send him a pin location.
Yes, Commissioners.
Yes, and then you say, get a surname. And what I'm saying to you is you actually went to the airport yourself. You were not forwarding this information that Mr. Nku gives you. You were not forwarding it to Gauza, or even if you forwarded it to Gauza, you actually went to the airport yourself.
I agree, I went,
Yes.
but not accompanying a house and them.
Yes.
Yes, I went.
Okay.
Just to take you back, just to take you back to page 63, this is another incident where you are at the OR Tambo airport and you're asking for details of the baggage guy, and you place yourself there because you say in the third last chat, I'm on the ground now. Are you on page 63?
Yes, Commissioners.
Do you see that?
Which one exactly?
The third last chat, so third from the bottom?
We on the ground now.
Yes.
Yes, Chair.
So you are referring to yourself and Hausa and other people, because what then follows on page 64 is that you had a meeting with Hausa and them. So there must have been an incident in February of 2019 when you were at the OR Tambo International Airport and you asked for details of one of the baggage guys, and those details were provided to you by Mr. Nku.
Yes, what's the question, Commissioner?
What were you doing with Mr. Nku at OR Tambo International Airport that required that you get details of the baggage guys?
I think I was maybe introducing him to house and them.
For what purpose?
For him, because he needed assistance. There's dollars that got stolen at the airport.
No, but that's the May incident. This is a different incident in February. Do they get stolen twice?
That is the only thing that I could remember when you mentioned Kensan. But for this one, I'll be lying.
Does this not have to do with the stolen gold or platinum? Because if you read the earlier chats, This is the chat we went through earlier where you said you will bring back Nku's dignity to his bosses. Is that why you then involved these 4 people? Because you guys are trying to recover whatever that was stolen?
I think so. Yes, Commissioner.
And
So you basically put up a team to go and recover stolen gold or stolen platinum on behalf of Nku's bosses?
I don't put up a team. I ask if they can assist.
Yes, it's the same thing. If you ask them to assist, it means you're putting a team together. And the idea was what? That you will go recover the stolen gold or stolen platinum on behalf of Nku's bosses.
They will go because they work there. I don't work there, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
but on page 64, the message there is, are you still on page 64? After you speak about the meeting that you had and meeting the guys for the inquiry, then there's the third message, the fourth message from you. And my team is now complaining a bit. Please top up if you can. I'm winning, trust me. You're winning the team's trust in this operation that he must top you up with money.
My team is complaining.
Yes.
Not. I know that the top-up will be, or would mean money.
Yes. So your team was successful because there's going to be an inquiry lodged, and now you're saying, but they're complaining because either he's not paying you at all or he's not paying enough, and you're asking for a top-up. And you say, I'm winning their trust, so give something to maintain their trust, because if you don't pay, then they're not going to trust me to deliver on these kind of jobs.
It means I meant money here.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yes, and your team.
And
your team.
yes,
And who was your team?
Khausa and them.
And sorry to interrupt, Advocate Nube. I think earlier when we engaged you, we may have misinterpreted chat number 3, because when we first looked at it, we assumed that it meant one of the guys was missing. Do you see the chat that says, Exeti Rashot Amfetu, we must go to Guyani? Remember we talked about that chat earlier?
Yes.
Reading it again now, it looks like you were talking about money, and you needed money to be topped up because what was made available for the team was not sufficient.
No, and I can tell you for sure that all this, now that I remember what you're talking about when we're talking this, it never materialized.
No, we're not there yet. We're not on whether you went to Guyani or not. We're still dealing with, there was a team that was put together, and you do say that my team, which means it's a team that you put together, is complaining a bit. Please top up. And I think you've admitted that topping up refers to money. Now I'm taking you to the chat before that. It says, Rashot Amfetu, meaning the money is not enough. So when you read them together, what they basically mean is the team is here, but the money that has been given is not enough, and Nku must top it up so that the team can proceed to do whatever work that they were supposed to do.
No, I know for a fact, Commissioners, nothing was given from Nku. The top-up would mean, or here means, Bashota.
No, but Rashota and Bashota are two different things. Rashota means you are short of cash. It's not enough.
I'm not excluding myself, because I can see here is Rashota. Rashota means I was there, but because it never materialized, that is why I could not remember exactly what was happening. Because it went nowhere, this thing.
but surely what you are saying, look at the next chat, please top up. That must be about money. It just must be. Rashota, please top up. It's about money.
Okay, agree.
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Thank you.
But also, what team would you have been talking about? You're surely not speaking about your subordinates in the traffic department. What team were you speaking about?
The very same ones on top. The three guys on top.
Mashiko, Twala, and Vinjela 50.
Yes.
So you were arranging for police officers to be paid by Mr. Nku. When you say, please top up, you've accepted it's cash. So you are asking Mr. Nku to, you've constituted a team of the three, and they're all police officers. You're arranging with Mr. Nku to pay them.
Well, obviously, commissioners, if you are asking a favor from people, they would always tell you how they work, and they would maybe demand what they demand, and I will just relay that back to Nku because he needs help.
So you have a team, you constitute, because you refer to them as my team, you constitute a team of police officers to do a favor for Mr. Nku, who will then pay them. It only makes sense if these police officers were not executing their duties, they were working outside of their duties for Mr. Nku, who pays them. It only makes sense if that was what was happening here. Is that what was happening?
Yes, commissioners.
Okay, so you organized SAPS members to provide services at a fee to a civilian outside of their duties. Thank you. And you say when you organize these three that you are now arranging for payment from Mr. Nku, you say what were they doing? What were they doing for Mr. Nku? Remember, this is still in February.
That's why I'm mixing the two. It's the dollars and the gold
Okay.
that was stolen from the airport.
So that must be the gold if it was one of the two, because we know the rands, the 4 million rand, and the dollars, $150,000, that is in May. It's in a May trip, and this conversation is in February. So this must be the gold.
I know I was in contact with the guys for those two things only.
And you say this team that you constituted, they were doing what? They were trying to find the gold for Mr. Nku or whoever else he was assisting.
Yes, they were trying to get it, to recover it.
Isn't that typically police job, typically police job where a complaint is laid with the police that something has been stolen from me, and Mashiko, Mosa, Twala, and Vinjelwa would do it in the normal course of their functions?
They are policemen.
Yeah, but you've just said they were not doing this in the course of their employment. It was a side hustle that they were doing for Mr. Nku. So they were not acting as police officers here. They were acting as a private army or private team, which is paid, which is hired and paid by Mr. Nku.
Side hustle, commissioners, I spoke about side hustle somewhere. I said I approached these guys because they work there. How are they going to recover it? They're the only ones that knows.
Yes.
Yes, either they will officialize it. I cannot dictate to them do it official or unofficial. I cannot.
No, but you know they are not doing it official. That's why you are arranging for money for them. You know it's not official. If it were official, you would know that they will be paid their salaries. They don't get any more than that. And if there are bonuses, they will get bonuses. I don't know how the police work in respect of that. But you would know if it was official that they would be paid in the normal course. Here, you've arranged them, and you're arranging for payment. In fact, you're asking for top-up, so it indicates they were already receiving payment. And what I'm putting to you is, in fact, I think you accept it was a side hustle. And what I'm putting to you is, but here you are about an alleged complaint of loss of gold. And what you do is you organize a team of police officers to do the work for a private citizen and then to be paid by the private citizen, when in fact all of that is supposed to be normal police duty. And here you are coming up with a scheme where police officers who are paid by the public, who are employed as such, to do exactly that. You organize them to work for a private citizen at a fee. That breaks the law, it seems to me, on every level that you can imagine. All of you have broken the law. If you say, which is what you say, if you say that's what happened, then all four of you should be prosecuted, honestly. You've broken the law. You break the law. You use police officers to engage in private business that is paid for by a citizen or a member of the public. Surely you must accept, even if you say, at that time I didn't think about it that way, but sitting there, you have to accept it is wrong on all levels that you can think about. Plus, you are using their position at the airport. You say from their position, they would know what to do. So you're quite conscious that you are getting police officers to use their positions and power that they get out of the law by virtue of employment, nothing more, by virtue of employment, to use those positions to serve the interest of Mr. Nku, who pays them, but who's also your funder. It's just wrong in every way you look at it. And it's liable to criminal prosecution put to you. And comment, Chief, if you want to. I don't know what you would say, but I'm putting to you what this is. It's just plain criminal conduct.
No comment, Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner. Chief, can we then continue from page 104, which is still the incident of Kensani that we were dealing with. At the top, Mr. Nku says to you, when you grab him, referring to Kensani, ask him about Ayanda, which we dealt with from the 5th of May. They work together on this. And then you say, that's nice, grabbing him will work. And then you say they didn't give either cell phone number or surname, we can get all we want. What were you referring to there? We can get all we want. Were you looking for more details? What was it?
I think I was looking for details.
Okay. He then says, I am on it, you give thumbs up, and then he sends you the Emirates flight number. You say thumbs up. He sends you a number saying that it's Kensani's number. And then on the next page, he says, you then say, Tumza, I'm stuck. This is now at 6:52 a.m. on the 24th. You say, Tumza, 6:35 p.m. later that day. You say, Tumza, I'm stuck. So you were successful. Were you successful in grabbing Kensani?
Like I'm saying, none of this materialized. So we were not successful.
So why did Mr. Nku then send you 10,000 rand on the 25th of May?
Clearly, it was not for this. It was for something else. Not for this, because this, I never entertain it anymore for what he was sending me. That for, I don't remember what was that for. But it's not like for something that I did for him.
So it's coincidental that you go to the airport when he tells you to go and grab someone. We don't know if you were successful. You say you weren't successful, but you don't remember much of anything. So we're not sure if maybe your memory is correct that you weren't successful here. And then he pays you 10,000 rand immediately thereafter. The next day, on the 25th of May, you receive 10,000 rand from him.
I would say because of our relationship, maybe for trying to assist him, that's what he did.
Okay, go to page 107.
Before you do that, sorry, stay there. Chief, you in your statement at paragraph 2, you say you were removed, you were politically and forcefully removed and arrested and detained in 2018, and then you were suspended. When were you reinstated? You don't give us dates.
2018.
Sorry?
2018.
You were reinstated in 2018.
I know I was locked up 2018.
Yeah. No, what I'm asking is, you were then also suspended. You do say in your paragraph that you were arrested and then the matter was not placed on the roll. You say that. And you were then released the following day, the very next day. So I'm asking about the suspension. You say I was then suspended. And then you say upon my reinstatement, I was transferred to Vereeniging Regional Office as head of service and region. So my question is, the suspension, when was it lifted? I may have forgotten, you might have said it somewhere, but I may have forgotten. After your suspension in 2018, when is it uplifted that you return to work?
It normally takes, I can't remember, is it 60 or 90 days?
Oh yes, you did say
Yes.
nothing came out of it. So the time lapsed and you went back to work.
Yes, and within that period, you must be taken for a hearing.
At DC.
So
Yes.
that did not happen.
Okay.
That's how I was reinstated.
Okay, and you went back to work. All
Yes,
right.
commissioners.
Okay, let me ask my question anyway. So in 2019, you are the head of service point in Vereeniging Regional Office. That's in 2018 when you go back to work after the lifting of your suspension.
2018, 2019, somewhere there.
Okay, I think what I'm wanting to verify is that in 2019, you are the head of service point, Vereeniging, in 2019.
Yes, commissioners.
Okay, so these events that we are discussing in 2019, you are Vereeniging Regional Office, head of service. That's your position at that point.
Not head of subs.
No, I'm saying Vereeniging Regional Office,
Service point.
head of the service point. Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Yes, commissioner.
That's in 2019. Why are you in an operation in OR Tambo then? Explain in 2019.
Like I said, in the province, we don't have jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's not a road, unless you say Ower Tambo is defined as a road. And I'm not in a position to argue with you about it because I've never thought of it as a road, and so I wouldn't know how to dispute it until I've looked it up. So my question comes from the assumption that Ower Tambo is not one of the roads that you can do operations on. This is, so my question of why are you in an operation at Ower Tambo, but also maybe let me add to it, just in case you say it's a road, let me add to it, that what you are doing there, what puts you at Ower Tambo is not a crime in progress, like you explained earlier, that you are a law enforcement officer. If a crime happens within where you can see it, you must act, or you're expected to act, and you have the right to, the power to act. This investigation about whether it is about gold, following up on stolen gold, or about dollars in May, all of which is in 2019, it's not your hot pursuit case, right? This stuff that has happened already historically, and you are following up on suspects. Why is that? How are you involved with this operation?
Ower Tambo is the airport.
Yes. You have jurisdiction over that. You have powers there.
Which powers, commissioners?
As a traffic officer.
Obviously, I did not get into the airport and dig into what was happening
Yeah.
because I found the guys that are working there. I went with Tumelo to introduce to them. That necessarily does not mean I went inside airport, inside in airport. No, but airport still, because it's Gauteng, still, we do work at the airport.
Yeah, no,
And-
sorry, finish, sorry.
We do work at the airport, depending on what is the operation.
Yes. Well, as a infrequent, I must qualify it, user of the airport, I know that I do see traffic officers giving people tickets. So,
But that's not inside the terminal
Yes.
building. I know where traffic officers like to park and stop people. It's usually as you turn to go straight towards the terminal building. Traffic officers like to stop there. That's not inside the terminal building.
question is, you have an operation which we have established. It's not an official police operation because these three people who are your team that are paid by Nku, they are not in a police operation to follow up on this. You've accepted that. So we know that whatever's going on there, they are not doing official police functions. We know that. The question is, you are part of it. That's why you are at the airport. In fact, Mr. Nku says, you tell Mr. Nku, we'll go and arrest, we'll grab him. So you make yourself part of that operation of grabbing him, whoever him is, Kensani or whoever. So my question is, you are at that time in 2019, the head of Service Point, Vereeniging region. You are in OR Tambo. You are going to effect an arrest. You are part of a group of people that are doing unofficial SAPS business, and therefore you must also be doing unofficial traffic department business. All of you paid by Mr. Nku. I'm asking, why are you part of this operation, you? Why are you participating in the arrest, possible arrest? You say it didn't succeed. why are you participating in the planned arrest of someone who is associated or that you are following up in respect of theft of somebody's gold? And you are a traffic officer who is based in the southern, in the service point office in Vereeniging. Why are you part of an operation to arrest a person in OR Tambo? That is not traffic officer duty to arrest this particular suspect if you found him. It's not traffic officer duty. So why are you there?
I did not participate in that operation. I was at the airport trying to assist Nku and introduce the guys to Nku. It doesn't mean I went inside the airport or I was part of the operation.
But you understand my difficulty that you, in your WhatsApp message to Nku, you say we will grab him, we'll go and grab him, and then Nku tells you when you grab him, he must take you to Ayanda or something like that. So you are associating yourself with a team that is making the arrest. So my question remains valid, or still stands, but why are you part of even the planning, let me say, of the planning to go and effect an arrest when you are a traffic officer, has no business in the arrest of people or in an operation to arrest anybody where it's not a hot pursuit case and it's not on a road? That's my question, really.
Commissioners, it doesn't mean because I said we are going to grab means necessarily that I know with the WhatsApp it would mean I was part of the team. But because I'm at the airport, maybe that's what I meant, that it is going to happen, I'm also here around. Not necessarily that I'm part of that operation, I'm part of the grabbing.
All right. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks. Thank you. We're still on 107. As I indicated, you received payment on the 25th of May. So if we look at the message where you've got the thumbs up and the thank you, the grateful hands, you say, please inform after doing it, Tumza, my notification is giving problems. That's still on the 24th. And then also still on the 24th, Nix and Fetu. On the 25th is when you receive payment. Then on the 29th of May, you say, Tumza, I see Didi is back. Let's move on our issues. Who's Didi?
Didi is Tumsa's uncle.
Whose uncle?
Tumelo's uncle.
And who is he?
He passed away.
Can you give me his name?
Kebi Mapatu.
Is that the name?
Yes.
And what were you meaning by he's back?
Just before that, why do you call him DD? Isn't DD supposed to be initials of a person?
Like I said, Commissioners, when Nku calls me or calls somebody boss, I automatically call boss. As to who he means, I don't know.
Is it?
But this is you writing here. This is not Nku. Sorry, Advocate Nube. This is you saying, I see DD is back.
Yes. commissioners.
So what is the name of this person that you call DD, and why do you call them DD?
He calls KB Mapatso DD.
But why is that not KM? Why is it DD?
That I'm not sure. And let me maybe not answer for Nku.
No, but
Maybe
you
he
using-
knows.
You saying DD, so you know the person as DD.
Yes,
Okay.
because
Is-
he calls him DD.
Okay, and this is in May 2019.
Yes, commissioners.
Is Didi not former Deputy President Didi Mabuza, who was reappointed in May 2019 as the Deputy President?
DD would mean,
Sorry, can you please clarify the reappointment?
When President Ramaphosa was appointed in his full appointment after the general elections in May 2019, he appointed Didi Mabuza as his Deputy President. Do you recall that?
I recall that.
Are you not referring to that Didi?
No.
Okay.
I think in fairness to you, let's put this to you, that the person widely referred to as DD was the late Deputy President Mabuza. Your explanation your explanation why you say DD here was the uncle Kebim Patswe is simply not, it doesn't add up, it's not satisfactory, and I want to suggest to you that you're not being honest in saying Didi is Kebi Mapatswe. I want to suggest you're not being honest. In all your exchanges here, Mr. Nku does not make any reference whatsoever to an Uncle Didi. There is the coincidence that, as Ms. Segal says to you, that in this period, Deputy President Mabuza had just been reappointed, if that is the correct word, reappointed or re-elected Deputy President. And you're saying this is a reference to Mr. Mapatswe. It's improbable. I want to suggest to you.
If it was Didi Mabuza, I was going to say, why do I have to lie if it's Didi Mabuza? Plus, he is no more. What will be my reason to say?
Well, Mr. Mapatswe, as far as I remember, is also no more. But in that sense, I'll suggest to you why you would, the motive, or why you would not want to be honest about it, is because you would then have to account for what does moving on our issues have to do with DD, with Deputy President Mabuza. You would have to answer that question, and I suspect you find it more difficult to answer that than to say this was a reference to Mapatswe, to the late Mr. Mapatswe.
Please comment.
No comment.
And what had Mr. Kirby Mapatswe returned to?
What was?
What had he returned to, Mr. Kirby Mapatswe? You see that I see Didi is back. What was he back to? What had he returned to?
No, I think Kebim Mapatswe was out of the country. So I was saying to Mr. Nku, I see he is back. So let's move on our issues. As to what was the issues then, I don't remember.
And where had you seen that? Where had you seen that he was back? It was quite easy to know that the late Deputy President was back to his position because that would have been public knowledge. So you would know that he was back. And how would you have known that Mr. Kevin Mapaswa is back? You say, I see. You are not saying
Obviously, it will be-
Mr. Nku has told you.
obviously I would be seeing him on TV.
He can be on TV even if he's abroad. He can be on TV even if he's abroad.
No, I can't be saying he's back while I'm seeing him abroad on TV. He must have been landed in our country.
No. You can see him on your TV screen even if he is abroad. That is what I mean. So it cannot be an answer that it was because you saw him on TV. That doesn't necessarily tell you that he's back. We see people who are in Russia, who are in Kenya, who are in Nigeria. We see them on TV screens. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are in South Africa.
But I'll be saying he is back where? I'm saying he's back in the country.
I should be the one putting questions to you. And I started this by saying to you that it makes more sense that perhaps it was the late Deputy President, because you would have seen that he was back to his position as the Deputy President of the country, not of the party. You would have seen that because it would have been public knowledge. So it makes sense for you to say, I see that he is back. But with Mr. Kirby Mapaswa, it's not necessarily the same, and that is why I was asking, and how would you have known, or how would you have seen, because you say you've seen this for yourself, basically, and not necessarily that you heard from Mr. Nku. And all you are able to tell us is that it's because you saw him on TV, and I'm saying to you that's not an answer. So that takes me back to the point that it makes more sense that you were probably talking about the Deputy President of the country. Your comment?
No comment.
Can I pick it up from there? You see, Chief Mashaba, in the era of Google, you shouldn't be lying about facts that are publicly verifiable. And what you are doing now is you are lying to the Commission. And I don't often use that word, lying. I prefer somebody's untruthful. The elections in May 2019 were around the 8th. By the 13th, the results were known. And on this day, the 29th, President Ramaphosa announced his cabinet. So it is obvious, looking at those facts, that the person you are referring here to is then Deputy President Didi Mabuza and nobody else. So you're simply not being truthful with the evidence you are giving. And the question is why? Why are you lying on such a meaningless issue? This is a side issue in the greater scheme of things. Why are you lying about it?
I'm not lying, commissioners. Can I please? I know Mr. Ngu calls KVDD. Like I'm saying, if it was Didi Mabuza, I would see no reason to lie about a late person.
Chief, if it was Kebi Mapaswa, he only came into office on the 15th of June 2019 after Mr. Jeff Radebe resigned from his seat. So how would you know in May, on the 29th of May 2019, that he was going to take over from Mr. Jeff Radebe when he resigned?
Kevin Mapaswa.
Yes.
Please repeat the question.
You say this is a reference to Kebi Mapaswa, and this is on the 29th of May, right? On the 29th of May, he wasn't part of a member of parliament. He only became a member of parliament on the 15th of June 2019, after Mr. Jeff Radebe resigned from his seat. You know that. So how could you know on the 29th of May that he was back, that he was going to get back into as a member of parliament?
Now that you are telling me, What I was meaning here is he's back in the country. What, now that you are reminding me, I remember maybe he was back for this, I don't know.
You see, you refer to the is back, let's move on our issues. You're tying the two together, which means the person is back in some kind of a position where it will allow you to move on with your issues, you and Mr. Nku to move on with your issues. Why are you, there must be a link between the person being back and you being able to move on with your issues.
I know that there was a lot that he was doing for Nku as an uncle.
Do you accept as a fact that President Ramaphosa announced his 2019 cabinet on 29 May 2019? Do you accept that as a fact? It's a matter of relative ease for that to be proved. Do you accept that?
I accept that now you are saying the date.
It was 29 May. And the date of this, the date of this chat is also exactly that same date, 29 May 2029. You see that?
I see that, Commissioners.
And who had returned to their position on that date between Mr. Kirby Mapatswe and Deputy President Didi Mabuza? Or let me ask the question differently. You must accept that Deputy President Didi Mabuza had returned to his position of Deputy President of the country. You accept that as well?
I was not talking about the position here, Chair.
Now I'm asking you the question. Do you accept that on that date, 29 May 2019, when
Yes.
the cabinet was announced, he returned to his position of the Deputy President of the country? You accept that?
Yes, I accept.
What you are refusing to accept is that you are talking about him here, DD, that is back. And he could only have been back to his position as the Deputy President of the country.
Yes, I don't mean DD.
And
I mean the uncle.
And what it takes us back to him having been outside and going outside of the country, and coincidentally now he's back on the 29th, back in the country. I will tell you that in the face of the facts that you and I have just gone through, what you say doesn't make sense altogether. What makes sense is that you are referring to Deputy President Mabuza. That's the only thing that makes sense in the circumstances.
I wouldn't comment any further, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair, if I can just finish the last point on this. The last chat that I want to, because it...
Can I just finish something on this? Because you're going to another chat.
May I ask the evidence leaders, I said it's a matter of relative ease to get the evidence so that it doesn't appear that we are working on mere surmise or, on non-existent facts. May I ask the evidence leaders to get evidence on this?
We will
It could
check.
just be a document making the actual announcement, and as you know, that document would be admissible evidence here because in commissions there are no strict rules as those rules that apply in, for example,
We will do
court
so,
proceedings. And by the look of things, we will still be here tomorrow, and that document will be put to Chief
We will check.
Mashaba. But anyway, he said he doesn't deny it, but we'll still need that document or that proof.
we will do so.
Sorry, Chair. I suppose it would apply to what you put to him, that the rally had to do with the elections and other things.
Well, he
So those
referred to
3
the
dates.
rally. Yes.
Chief, assuming, and I just want to explore this a bit, assuming or accepting that for purposes of this, that DD referred to there is the uncle, and in particular Mr. Kebi Mapatswe, we get to this WhatsApp on the 29th of May, having looked at the earlier WhatsApps about the search for the gold and the search for the dollars and the 4 million rand. So at least we've now, as at this point, identified specific projects that you are doing with Mr. Nku, at least those 2. Now my question is, if you are saying to him, because this is you speaking, you say, Didi, your uncle is back, let's move on our issues. What involvement did his uncle that you say here have, or what involvement did his uncle have in your issues with Mr. Nku? Because this must mean that there had been dealings that involved or touched upon his uncle. That is why you say your uncle is back, let's move on with our issues. Can you just explain the involvement of the uncle?
Like I said, Commissioners, the issues that his uncle maybe would assist as an uncle, maybe would be in his businesses, but to my benefit, it would mean maybe I'll use it at my advantage, maybe for a growth career-wise.
That's not my question. You see, your statement is very firm. Now that your uncle is back, let's move on our issues. And I'm saying to you, the premise for this is his uncle was involved in something that you and Mr. Nku were dealing with, your issues. That's the only way this makes sense, because it seems to come out of nowhere. There's no discussion earlier on, there's no mention of him, the person that you say is the uncle. So it happens suddenly here in this WhatsApp where he gets mentioned. So I'm saying, well, there is you have a context to it of this uncle's involvement in your issues. And I must say, the answer can be maybe. It has to be a firm answer. You can't say maybe it was about him in his businesses. He was involved in something that you and Mr. Nku were. And it's you talking, yes. It's you talking. So
Yes.
you must know what the uncle was involved with that concerned you and Mr. Nku. And I'm asking you, what was that?
Assisting Nku in his businesses.
All right. Thanks,
No,
Mr.
no, no, no. It's our issues. It's our issues. You cannot exclude yourself. No.
Well, what benefits Nku will benefit me as a friend, or yes, I agreed already that.
And getting more monies like you got the 20,000, it benefits you in that sense?
Not monies, commissioners.
Benefits you in
It
what
benefits
sense?
me career-wise.
How?
Well, I wouldn't say how, but
I'm asking you how. So you must please say how, because I'm asking you.
when I say career-wise, obviously, I would mean growing at work.
How
Be
so?
it-
How so? How does that come about? How do you grow as a result of Mr. Yes, yes. coming back?
Well, maybe here I would mean a position, maybe.
So do you mean Mr. Mapatse would assist you progress professionally?
Would that, yes,
And would that be proper?
it won't be proper, Commissioners.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, we must remind ourselves of the guarantee Mr. Nku made to you in February. He guaranteed you a formidable financial future. That's the guarantee he made to you on the 18th of February 2019. He said types of opportunities will be opened up. I can only guarantee a formidable financial future. Remember that?
I remember that, Commissioner.
So our businesses must be financially related benefit to you. Do you accept that?
I accept that,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
The last one I want to deal with is the next message, where on the 4th of June, you send a message, Tumza morning, Aritsebetseng Mfetu. I want us to look after Faith. She is now my MEC. Things are going to change for the best and beneficial to me. Please, Mfetu. You were speaking about Ms. Faith Mazibuko,
Yes, Commissioner.
who was appointed the MEC for Community Safety on 30 May 2019.
Yes, Commissioners.
Okay, so you saying to Nku that you must work, that you guys must work because you want to look after the MEC. Things are going to change for the best and beneficial to me, please, Mufetu. What did you mean there? I mean, it's obvious, but let's hear your version.
Is it obvious?
Yes, it is obvious.
Okay. I am very close. I was very close that time to the MEC because I was ill-treated all the time. I knew when she's back, the treatment will be better. I knew for the fact.
Okay, but what is the reference of let us work? I want us to look after Faith. The two of you must look after Faith by working. Working on what? Your side hustle.
Yes.
So that you can look after her by doing what for her?
There will be ways of talking to a person sourcing money. Not necessarily mean I'm saying, give me money, I want to look after this person.
Saying let's work so we can look after this person. So the only work the two of you were doing was the side hustle, which we've explored this afternoon. That's the work you're referring to.
Yes.
Yes. Why would you need to look after the MEC with Mr. Nku?
Why would I want to look after the MEC?
Yes. Let's work. I want us to look after Faith. She is now my MEC. Things are going to change for the best and beneficial to me. Please, Mfwetu.
Let's take a short adjournment. I will not state the time. We'll come back when we are ready, please. Please think about your answer so long, Chief Mashaba. Let's adjourn.
can go on. Please make sure your devices are off on silent. Thank you.
Please repeat your question, Ms. Seegers. I hope you still remember it.
I'm going to try, Chair. You asked the witness to remember his answer, not for me to remember the question. But it related to the WhatsApp regarding the MEC for community safety, Ms. Faith Mazibuko. And I was asking you, why would you need to work with Mr. Nku to look after the MEC? And we were referring to that the work could only have been the side hustle, and you were going to explain what you meant.
I honestly, Chair and Commissioners, I honestly do not have an answer.
You don't have an answer. Earlier on, you said that you and the MEC were very close and you knew that you were going to have better working conditions with her there. I then said to you, no, that couldn't be what you were referring to. You must have been referring to the side hustle and that you were going to use whatever benefits come out of the side hustle to look after the MEC. So you can't say you honestly don't know. You must know what you were referring to, what the benefits, the best and beneficial to me, that what you were referring to.
Not that I don't want, honestly, I don't know what will be my fair answer to the Commission.
Your fair answer, we want your honest answer. You do know. Because you had said to him, and this is somebody that's a close friend of yours. You are close to the MEC. So you must know what it is that you had in mind to look after her with Mr. Nku, whatever benefits were going to come from there. You must know.
Because I spoke about the relationship, how close we are. Further than that, it was just a communication. Not that I really meant, let's do something, let's work. Hence I'm saying, on this one, honestly, I don't have an answer.
Sorry. You say, Harris Sebitzing, let's work. That's what you say, let's work. So you are referring to whatever it is that you had been working on with Mr. Nku. It has to be that you are referring to. Whatever you were doing with Mr. Nku, let's do that. Let's keep doing this so that I'm able to look after Ms. Mazibuko. That's what you're saying. Let's keep doing what we've been doing. It only makes sense. That's what you're saying here. What do you say to that?
No comment, Commissioner.
No, you have to have a comment. You choose the easy way to wind the clock down. When you say no comment, it's simply you're just winding down time. And maybe we should remind you that you do have an obligation to give satisfactory answers. And if you don't, it is a criminal offense. The Commission will lay a complaint with the police for you to be prosecuted. Having said that, I want to say to you, in this message you are saying to Mr. Nku, let's keep working, let's keep doing what we've been doing. And we know, as at June this is in June. We know that you have off-the-books operations with him and your team that he is paying. We know at least 2 of them. We know that. So you are either referring to those same kind of operations or others that we still haven't come to, and we may never come to know. But we know you are doing operations, and in fact, operations that are not authorized by law. We know you're doing that. And when you say to him, let's keep working, you're referring to that. You're referring to the operations that you do with Mr. Nku. And it can only be so. Otherwise, this comes from nowhere. And you were just making up a WhatsApp, and I please, I don't want to tempt you to even say, yeah, I was just making it up, because sometimes when I write WhatsApp messages, I don't tell the truth. You are talking about whatever work you've been doing. So Ms. Seagulls is correct when she says your side hustle. That's what you must have been talking about. You're not talking about official duties, your official duties. You're talking about side hustle. And I actually think it's to be generous to you to call what you were doing with Mr. Nku a side hustle. It's simply unlawful conduct that the 2 of you are engaging in. You using your position and getting SAPS members to use their positions to do things that are not on the books, that are not authorized by their organization. That's what this is about. When you say Hari Sebetseng, you say let's keep on doing what we are doing, so that I'm able to look after Ms. Mazebuk. And I put it to you as a positive statement. You can comment or not comment if you want, but I put it to you that that's what this is about. It is whatever it is that you are doing with Mr. Nku, the operations you were conducting, the activities you were conducting with Mr. Nku, which are not on the books. This is what you were referring to when you said, let's keep working so that I can take care of Ms. Mazibuko. You can comment if you want to.
I've got no comment, Commissioners.
I note, oh, sorry.
And when you say that she is now my MEC, things are going to change for the best and beneficial to me, you are saying if Mr. Nku helps you to take care of her in this way, where you say Harisibiting and I say it means let's carry on with what we've been doing and work harder, in fact. You are saying that will enable you to take, you say we. When I say you, I mean we in the plural, because that's the language you use, you and Mr. Nku, and you say it will help your situation. You are saying it will buy you favors with the MEC and she will act in your favor because you are taking care of her. And again, you can comment if you want, but that's what that means. That you're saying, if I take care of her, she will do things for me. As an MEC, she'll help me out in the job. That's what you meant?
Commissioner, if you can know how we are treated political, you would maybe understand what I mean. Hence I'm saying other SMSs would be make-up SMSs. But in this instance, I meant I've been badly treated. I know the treatment will be better. Not that I will be doing something because the treatment will be better, I need to pay back. I didn't mean that, and I don't mean that. That's why I'm saying, can I please not comment any further?
Well, I'm quite happy to have the last word on this now that you say you don't want to comment any further. That in fact what you are saying here is because you will take care of her, things will be good for you. That's what this is. This is what the words that you have used. And that speaks to corruption of, I will take care of her and then she will make things better for me. That's all that these words mean that you have written, the relationship you are creating. She will help you out if you take care of her. That's what you're saying. And I say to you, well, here you are speaking about corrupting an MEC by taking care of them, and then because you take care of them, they will do things for you. They will make your life easier, things to be better for you. That's what you're doing. That's one. Two, here you are again introducing, if they hadn't met before, if they had nothing to do with each other before, here you are bringing a politician, an MEC, into the realm of Mr. Nku, who we see from other evidence is quite problematic. He's involved in activities about drug trafficking. That's the evidence before this commission, and that will still play out. He's involved in that, and here you are, yet again, having introduced him to SAPS members, doing his bidding. You are doing his bidding. You go to operations, you give him people's numbers, you do all of those things. Here you are. If they had nothing to do with each other before this, here you are bringing an MEC improperly into a relationship with that problematic character. And you are as crude as to say that let's work so that I'm in a position to take care of her so that she can take care of me. You say that is corruption defined, what you're speaking about in this paragraph. And it is well, I state the obvious. You are breaking the law and acting unlawfully, where you are organizing it with somebody who's a problematic personality. And I think you know Mr. Nku's business and what he's involved with. You know it. And here you are bringing him yet again to a politician so that you can both corrupt her so that she can assist you. It is a criminal offense, or it's criminal conduct, in fact. Thank you. You said you have nothing more to say. Thank you. Girls, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Chair, we will adjourn for the day.
When I looked at my time earlier and I said you would be here, I think it was around 6 minutes past 4. Now we are done. What I suggest is that I've not discussed this with my co-commissioners. I'm praying that they will agree. What I suggest is that once you've laid your hands on the information we said you should find, that should be sent to Chief Mashaba. Chief Mashaba, if upon receipt of that information you want to comment on it, you are aware of the issues that we raised with you around that information. So if upon receipt of that information you want to respond, you may do so by means of an affidavit. Okay? Oh.
Coming back tomorrow, Chair.
Chair. Forget everything I said then. So the information hopefully will be shown to you tomorrow. And from you, Chief Mashaba, remember what I engaged you on right at the beginning, which is around your conditions of employment and your functions, your powers. Please bring documentation on that aspect. We want to see in black and white what your powers, functions, etc. are. Please, please.
Okay, Commissioner. It's okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry for misleading you. I'm sure you were quite relieved when I said you were done. Sorry about that.
It's fine, Commissioners.
Let's adjourn until 9:30 tomorrow.